I've got a couple of little props here. And for those of you that have seen this before, hopefully I'm really starting to drill this into you so that you're really starting to get that it's not the old days anymore, okay? New media is here. The internet has changed the way that we do business. And my company is all about providing internet marketing services, so helping businesses get online and get results. And that's why I'm called Real Results Media. So what I like to show you here is, this here is a 2011 edition phone book, and this is 2010 edition, okay? And you can see just within 1 year, you're already down about 100 pages, okay? And if you're looking at like full-page ads, which most businesses aren't using today, there are still some full-page ads, you're looking at about 200 businesses could be on those 100 pages. But in reality, they're not full-page ads, they're these listings with hundreds and hundreds of businesses on there. So, in fact, 100 pages less could represent, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 businesses, you tell me. So where have those businesses gone to just in 12 months?
Online.
They've gone online. Or the other sad reality is maybe they've gone out of business, okay, because they're not getting the inquiries that they once did, okay? And it wasn't too long ago that I used to remember that the A to K edition of the Yellow Pages almost used to be about as thick as that. So we're not talking about 2,000 to 3,000 businesses that are missing. We could be talking about 200,000 to 300,000 businesses. You know, and that's the reality, is that people are not going to the Yellow Pages anymore. They're going straight to the internet. It's actually a statistic here coming from Roy Morgan Research, and it says that Yellow Pages ads are not being seen by 86.5% of the Sydney population. So, in other words, the only people reading these, it's only about 14% of the market. So couldn't your advertising dollars be better spent? Because in reality, these are being used to prop up people's computer screens or keep their back door of their home ajar so the cat can walk in and out or the fresh breeze can come in. Or sometimes they're going straight to the recycling bin before people even take the plastic off them. So we know that people are going straight to the internet. And to sort of further illustrate that point here, I've got a little diagram here that I'm going to pass around. And it shows now that the internet is where people spend the most amount of time every single week. We're looking at, and this was done in 2007. So you can imagine where it's at now in 2011. In 2007, Nielsen Online Internet and Technology report stated that people are spending more than 16 hours a week in front of their computers. They're spending only 2 hours a week reading newspapers, okay? They're spending more time on the internet than anything else. Doesn't matter whether it's radio, television, you name it, it's there. So check that out, because it's going to really start to illustrate to you how critical it is for you to start to use the internet to market your local business, okay? I will just pass these around as well. These are showing, and I know they're not the best quality, so I do apologise for that. This is a Google heat map, and this is illustrating where people are clicking on the search engine of a page 1 ranking for any type of business, okay? So let's say, for instance, you've got a Chinese restaurant in Liverpool, okay? People would type in Chinese restaurant Liverpool. This could represent the page 1 rankings, and you'll see that literally 80% of people are only clicking on the first 4 or 5 listings. After that, it's basically going down to almost nothing where the traffic is. So I'll put that over that side, and you guys can have a quick look at that, okay? So where are all people going? They're going straight to Google, okay? Who here uses Google when they're looking for an internet search, okay? So that's everyone, okay? So that's pretty much enough said about Google. But it's actually a fact that 87% of people go straight to Google when they're looking for a business, product or service. Now, it might be to do some research about a purchase that they want to make. It might be to find a business owner or a service that they haven't used in a while and they need to find a new, and they're going straight to Google and typing it in, okay? So when they get to Google, they're coming up with some results here. And I'm going to just pull this up here. I'll show you this one as well. So they're coming up, and this is one of the latest Google search engine results. This is for a search that I did for restaurants in Parramatta. And you can see here that how the search engines changed. There used to be all these organic listings, and you had your pay-per-click ads down the side and sometimes across the top in the really competitive markets. But now Google's got a real focus on local business and on local marketing. So they're pulling in all the local-based results. And every single one of you can get a free Google Local Places listing in Google and come up on page 1 if you set it up right, and I can help you with that. And so that you'll be on page 1 of Google when people type in your business and your location. And what's better is Google even knows where people are via their IP address. So even if they just type in, say for instance, they want to find a Chinese restaurant in Liverpool, these days they'll just type in Chinese restaurant. And Google will know that they're in Liverpool, and it'll pull up the Chinese restaurants. And here's one that I did for Parramatta. And you'll notice all these restaurants here are very well-known restaurants in Parramatta. Okay?
So, John, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, does Google always look at your IP address and give you suggestions based on where you are? So, if I went home to Ashfield and typed in Chinese restaurant...
It all depends on the search, okay? If it's a local-based product or service, it's very, very highly likely that Google will pull off the IP address. If you're looking for something like, let's say I want to find something like, what? Yeah, back pain or anything to do with health, there's no real point of just having local-based information. But if it's a restaurant, if it's a type of business, if you're a plumber or if you're a doctor or if you're you do glass in buildings and all these type of things, they're local-based services. It's going to do you no service to get a search result coming back from the United States or even Perth for that matter. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to actually get your Google Places listing and how you can start to leverage this and get your business showing up on that map there. So we can pass that one around. So how do you set up your Google Places listing? Well, first of all, I've got another one. Bear with me for a sec. Back at this one.
It knows where you are because when we were living in Chullora, it kept showing me all these.
So go to Google.
Who wanted to meet me in Chullora.
Go to google.com/places, okay? And this is Google's local places for business. They've basically put all the data these days out of the yellow pages, out of True Local, and they've done this for businesses all over the Western world, and they've imported all that data into here. So chances are if you've been in business for a while, your Places account is already set up. Google's already put it there. It will already have some basic information about you. You need to go on, get a Gmail account, and that's Google's free email client, and then go and claim your Places listing and start to take ownership of it. Check that the information's correct in there. Fill it in. Put your website address. Put your address of your business. Put in your opening hours. Put in your logo and a few pictures. Even better, put in a video, because the more complete that Google Places listing is, the better chance you're going to come up in that 7-pack on page 1 of Google. And once you've actually set that up, then there's things you can actually do via keyword research. I'm going to touch on that in just a minute, on how you can actually push your placing up so you can guarantee it in there. Another big driver of this is actually reviews. So you'll see on there all the reviews that the restaurants have got. The more reviews you have on your Google Places listing, the higher you're going to go up as well, because Google's knowing that that's a reputable business that people like doing business with. Okay? So this is very important, and this is a way that you can get on page 1 of Google and start to leverage Google, for free. Even if you don't have a website, you can still leverage your Google Places listing and start to get business from there.
So someone like Jeff could get his Google's place, and then Nick could go on and write a review.
Jeff's already got his. Yeah, look, what? Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. What if one of my Middle Eastern competitors gets on there and says, "Don't like him, didn't do a good job," all this sort of jazz?
What you need to do is you need to counteract that. That's the whole thing about damage control these days and managing your reputation. That's happening on Facebook. It's happening on Twitter. It's happening on YouTube. There's a concept out there called haters, okay? And they'll hate on you. Just because you're doing a good job and you might be a competitor, they're out there and they're just going to hate on you. They're just going to write BS and try and drag you down,
that's
okay?
what I mean.
But you just need to counteract that.
How do you counteract it?
Well, you just say,
Give me a name and number?
Yeah,
which ring do you want them in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is the reality that we all live in, okay? And even in the old world, people could have been bad-mouthing you, you just didn't know about it. At least these days you know about it. You can set up a Google alert so that every single time your business is mentioned anywhere on the internet, Google will send that to you via email, and you'll be able to keep up with the conversation around your business. Okay. You can also get a Google alert around your competitor's business. So anytime somebody talks about your competitor, that'll send you an email about all those, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a video, whether it's a comment on Twitter or Facebook. Google will send that to you either daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you set, that'll come to you. And so you can really keep your finger on the pulse these days of what's going online, okay? And it's about just keeping your eye on that, keeping your ear to the ground, knowing what people are saying about you, and go on and say, hey, I've never done business with this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. He's clearly just trying to do damage to a business that maybe is a competitor.